Hey, Sean, welcome to an evening post. I've been taking a few weeks off from making any content. For a while there, when I was doing these every day, I'd set up a whole bunch of gear, and my life was just one big studio that I was recording every day. And so it's been nice to take several weeks off and sort of sit with some of my own thoughts for a little while. But I like my little platform here, and I like that it continues to grow and get comments even when I'm not making stuff regularly. And so I'm excited to share the Evening Post's audience with a good friend of mine, Ronald Wagner. Ronald Wagner is a photographer and videographer that I met on a couple different gigs, and finally we started talking, and we've got the chance to work together a couple times, and it turns out that he went to the same small grade school that I did, and he's just a really passionate, young, talented photographer and filmmaker. And so I asked him if he'd be willing to share a few of his favorite photos and sort of the little stories behind them and what he learned from it and his experience as a photographer. So thank you, Ronald, and you can take it from here.
Hey, Ron. Today, I'll be showing you some of my favorite photos from my portfolio. And before I go any further with this introduction, I just want to say thanks to Sean for having me on today's episode. Let's get into it. So, I'm an 18-year-old photographer from St. Louis, Missouri. I've been shooting for maybe 5 years now, and I would say that my style is definitely more of a simple one. I am not a person that likes anything too flamboyant or extravagant, and I mainly just strive to get raw emotion, natural light, and just to be able to capture the person in their natural essence whenever I shoot. So you'll likely be able to pick out those themes throughout my photos. So this first photo is of Ty Gretzky at his hockey camp. This is Wayne Gretzky's son, and I had the pleasure of accompanying a woman named Susie Gorman, who is a St. Louis photographer, very well known, an amazing body of work, and an overall great person to be around. And this is both of our first sports shoes, so we were kind of just learning as we went along. But what made me pick this out of my whole entire portfolio is definitely the expression on his face, because as I'd mentioned earlier, I love, just natural expressions in people in their raw state. And Ty was just really approachable, down to earth, and bubbly guy, and I really loved being around him and all the other kids at the hockey camp. It was a really great time for my first time shooting. And yeah, that's exactly why I picked this photo, because I think that it represents my style very accurately. So this photo here is definitely one of my most favorite that I have in my portfolio. It was at the first wedding that I'd ever shot and actually attended back in 2018 during the summer, and I was the second shooter for a woman named Ashley Piper, an amazing St. Louis photographer. But what makes it really stand out for me, and the reason that I chose it, is because it's just I would say it's a really honest and kind photo. Like, if you knew these two, you definitely would be able to tell that they really love each other. And I think that this photo can also show that. So that's the reason that I chose this. And also, I just really like the monotone color of it. Just pretty, those grays, kind of darks. But mostly it's just light. And I really like that. I am a fan of monotonous color schemes in pictures. So I'd taken this photo last fall of my friend Tyler. After watching a lot of Sean Tucker on YouTube. He's a photographer, videographer, and just content creator. And one of his quotes was to embrace your shadows and protect your highlights, which really stood out to me because that's something that I never really did. I like to try and stay within a box with my photography, and it was a really bad thing. Like, I would make sure that my photo was never too underexposed or too overexposed. But here, as you can see, there are a lot of parts that are underexposed, like the shadows in the background they're just completely dark. Like, there are some parts that are just completely black, and that is something that I don't usually do in my work. So this photo means a lot to me because, first of all, he was happy with me trying something new, and second of all, I was happy with it. And as my first attempt trying this, I think it came out really well, and I think that it's also leading me in a new direction, and it's helping me to find my style. So this is definitely a picture that I look back on with I'm just really fond of it, like with a lot of fond thoughts. So yeah, I'm just very happy that it came out how it did. So this is a self-portrait, and it holds a lot of value to me because I'm not a person that'll sit down in front of a camera often. I'm usually the one behind it. So, it was very sobering and it was very fun to be able to sit down, get my light kit, put my camera on a tripod, and really just experiment and try and come up with a final product that I was pleased with. And I am very pleased with this. This is definitely one of my most favorite photos, along with one of the ones that I mentioned before. This definitely goes on my probably like top 5 list. Not because of anything too spectacular, but just for the simple reason that I put time into it and I got a product that I was really pleased with. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed looking through my portfolio, and thank you again, Sean, for having me, and see you later.
That's all. Thank you very much for watching. If you want to be a part of this, if you want to share some of your story and what you've learned, I'd love to have it. So throw it in the comments below. Let's get connected. Let's make some stuff. See you later. Bye.